So it finishes Spurs 2, Liverpool 1. Liverpool suffering their first defeat of the season, but boy, is it controversial. This is what PGMOL had to say after the game. They acknowledge a significant human error occurred during the first half of Tottenham Hotspur versus Liverpool. The goal by Luis Diaz was disallowed for offside by the on-field team of match officials. This is a clear and obvious factual error and should have resulted in the goal being awarded through VAR intervention. However, the VAR failed to intervene. PGMOL will conduct a full review into the circumstances which led to the error.
Two things. One, if it's checked and they've come up with that decision, whoever is in the VAR should never be in there again. Yeah. And two, if it wasn't checked, whoever was in the booth should never be in there again. They're not amateurs anymore, right? The referees used to do this job as a hobby, right, on the side. And they'd get a few pittance here and there, but they all had other jobs, right? And it was tough. And I'm not suggesting it's easy, but it should be easier. These are professionals. These guys train every day. They have training on the equipment, on the VAR. They go to seminars. And yet we have the flagship game in the English Premier League today at prime time in England and around the world, and they get this wrong. Right? How many times are you going to have to apologise? Right, it's gone beyond. Howard Webb was on Sky and BT or TNT, whatever it is, a few weeks ago. And all these Muppets were going about going, oh, isn't this great? We're hearing the audio. Shut up. How's about you don't bother with all this sideshow and just get your guys by the scruff of the neck and say, for God's sake, do your job. Yeah. Just do your job.
See, the worst thing is there's a protocol. This is not... When you're in the VAR booth, if you think he's onside, then that's fine. You don't need to bother checking it. There's actual protocols that, regardless of whether you think it's on or off, you're supposed to do. That's your job. It doesn't get any more incompetent than what we saw here. It doesn't. And actually, it's down to Howard Webb. He's in charge. He's the guy that's paid a lot of money to train these guys, to put them in a position where the outcome is the correct one. So, yes, the guy who was supposed to do it needs to get his papers, but so does Howard Webb. He's the guy that's supposed to train these guys, and he clearly isn't doing it. And
again, this isn't a VAR issue, it's the people who are operating VAR.
No, it's not VAR. People, because there are one or two clowns out there who go, oh, I don't like VAR. It's not the equipment and the technology. It is the humans, right? People got to understand that, right? It gets a lot more correct than it gets wrong. However, this is significant. Right. This is significant. Yes. Howard Webb has got a huge problem, right? Because Mike Riley was a bit of a buffoon behind the scenes, who was the head of the PGMOL, lacked any real respect or gravitas. Howard Webb has that, right? Because not only was he a fantastic referee, refereed World Cup finals all over the world, but he was coming in with a bit of authority. Yeah. Right? I have authority, gravitas, and I will rule with an iron fist, and we will get this right. He's got a big problem here, as Stevie said, in terms of his job. Because if he doesn't cut those people loose that are making these mistakes, then he's going to have to go. There's too much money at stake here. It's a big business now. Premier League, Bundesliga, La Liga, all these leagues around Europe and the world. It's huge business. It's hiring and firing. It's jobs in the line. And quite frankly, he has got, and I know he's just not that long in there, but he's got a huge problem. If he doesn't fix it, they'll have to get somebody else in his position that can do a better job than him.
That, of course, is one of the big talking points, Don. The first one that we saw, though, was the Curtis Jones yellow card that was given initially, and then VAR told the referee to go over to the monitor and he upgraded it to a red. Is this right?
I think it's the right thing to do. I think it's the right thing to send the ref to the monitor to make sure and to clarify that what he saw was worth upgrading to a red card. I thought it was a red card. What I would agree with, I think the journalist asked Jurgen Klopp about slow motion. You can't expect a referee to go to a monitor and show him just the slow motion replays. You've got to give it to the referee in real time. You've got to say to him, this is what happened in real time. Then you can have a better understanding of the outcome. You might say, well, he's a bit unlucky, got a little bit of the ball, it was over the top, but he caught the man, but he's actually a fraction away from taking all of the ball. I thought it was a red card, I must admit. when I've seen it 2 or 3 times.
Why did you think it was a red?
Yeah. Because not only in these days the rule changed, I think about 4 or 5 seasons ago, where no longer getting the bit of the ball is deemed to be okay. It doesn't matter if you take the ball anymore. If you're seemed or deemed to have endangered an opponent, then that is a red card. Now, it's borderline, don't get me wrong, but I'm leaning on the side of that tackle endangered an opponent. Therefore, in my opinion, I thought that was the right call. It was a red card. But we shouldn't be showing the referees a slow motion. If you want to show them one angle of a slow motion, maybe fine, but give them 4 or 5 angles in real time.
What do you think of this one?
I don't think it's borderline.
You think it's clear?
I think it's clear. I think it's serious foul play. This.
Totally disagree with you.
If that's not endangering an opponent, I don't know what is. Right? As soon as I saw the replay, it was like red card all day, every day.
They need to start bringing intent into it then. Otherwise, we're going to have nobody left on the field. So I'll tell you what, the fact that you're saying he's endangered them, right?
Well, he has.
Well, I'll tell you what, there was another challenge, right, in the second half.
Well, 2 wrongs don't make a right. He's gone over the ball.
Hold on a minute. I'm just going by your rationale. Udogie made a challenge on Gakpo. He absolutely 100% got the ball. Wasn't even a foul, in my opinion. Udogie, for some reason, got a foul against him and got a yellow card because he landed on Gakpo's ankle with his knee, right? So if we're going to start looking at things as outcome or, well, it's endangering the opponent, explain to me what the difference is between the two.
I'll tell you what the difference is. He hasn't played the ball. He's gone over the ball. He's rolled his boot over the top of the ball with his, by the way, studs up, over the ball, leg breaker.
You can't call that over the ball.
Because
the ball's made of rubber.
Can you not see the replay?
It's come across the top of it.
Can you not see a replay?
It's come across the top of it.
Yeah, that's called going over the ball.
No, it's not. Going over the ball is not touching the ball at all. That's called going over the ball.
He's touched the ball, but he's gone over the ball. He's gone over the ball with his studs up into an opponent's shin, almost halfway up his shin. It's absolutely crystal clear.
No, it's not. I'll tell you, it's so crystal clear that there's half the planet says it's not.
Who's half the planet?
Well, so did you listen again? What did Lee Dixon say?
What? Oh, yeah. Well, there you go.
There's plenty. I
think he was getting confused.
There's 50 split down the middle. People saying it's a red and it's not a red.
Listen, it's no 1990, right? The laws have changed, right? Whether you like it or not, that is dangerous an opponent, right? Maybe a few years ago you'd have got away with that.
No.
If he goes in and cleans the ball out properly, then his studs are, by the way, his foot's lower, his studs are lower. There might be some contact on the way through. That's part and parcel. Unfortunately for Curtis Jones, he doesn't. He touches the ball, he rolls over the top of it, studs up into the opponent. Not difficult.
The game overall, how...
Well, it wasn't really... you can't really talk about the game.
That's the issue that we have here, isn't it? Because
Liverpool...
as Steve said, good to 20 minutes, end to end, everyone's trying to score, it was fun.
Well, I thought Liverpool looked more dangerous with 11 on the field. And we'll never know how the game's going to pan out. In fact, ironically, when Liverpool went down to 9 men, I thought that made it even more difficult for Spurs because that was the offensive side of it just gone. Yeah. So it was now everybody behind the ball. And to be fair, obviously there was the late-on goal. I honestly felt Spurs were not going to score. I thought they had run out of ideas. Yeah. They tried every trick in the book. Every trick in the book they tried, and Liverpool had gone to a back three and had dealt with it. It was unfortunate. Matip, they got it wide quicker and it comes off his shin. We can talk about...
The 2 goals are poor. The 2 goals are poor.
Right.
I mean, listen, I know everybody's going to feel bad for Matip, but the fact is, it's the same as a striker up the other end. When the ball's coming that quick, you don't need to swing a leg at it. You use the pace of the ball to put it home. And it's the same when you're defending. When there's a ball coming across your 6-yard box as fast as that, you just get your body shape right and the rest will take care of it. You don't swing at it, because that's what happens when you swing at it. And the first one's just terrible defending. Right. I mean, he's so far wide, Gomez sleeping. He just got every single thing wrong about it. But, yeah.
You don't have to hit it into the top stand, is what Steve is saying.
Right, yeah.
You just have to...
just guide it.
Pad it out for a corner or do it. Sure. Hindsight, innit? I should have just... But he went for the big waft and...
But then he's probably tired. He's probably, they've done a lot of work.
Right.
They've been up against it. 9 men.
Do you think it should have been a red card? No. Don, Spurs unbeaten, only them and Arsenal now.
Do you know what? They're going to be in some entertaining games this season, Tottenham, because they're a good side to watch. I think the lads are right. I think it was an amazing game to watch. I thought it told us a lot about Liverpool as well, the way they started the first half an hour. They took the game to Tottenham. But Tottenham under Postecoglou are not going to be afraid of anyone. I think they're going to die on their sword and live by it at the same time. I think they're going to take a lot of scalps this season. They might lose a 4-3. They might lose the 3-2. But that's what Spurs fans want in terms of entertainment. And when they come out on the right side of the results like they've been doing this season, it just goes to show if you get a positive man in who gives positive energy and gets these players and improves these players playing the right football, this team can go a long way. They've got some games coming up, the next 3, they can win all 3. They've got teams down at the bottom where the form that they're in and the way they're playing and the goals they're scoring, they could be a threat to many teams this season.